So sparkly.
The chill of Rimergon's oblivion. The mindless beast. Easily brought to heel by the fire.
You wanna go say hi, Durance? Crazy grizzled old bastard. It's all shiny in here. Oh look, grizzled bastard version 2. The pale elf searches you with ice blue eyes. She shifts and knits her fingers together. Welcome to Noonfrost. Most of the temple is currently closed for sacred ceremonies to Rimgrand. She forces a smile and waves to the eastern doorway. The shrine is to your right. You're welcome to make your offerings to Rimmergand, whatever his name is. There. Rai. But the rest of the temple is off limits. Tell me about this Rai. He's the god of cold, entropy, and collapse. Many see him as a harsh god, but few recognize that he also gives life in his own way. All things wind to a merciful end. In his shadow, only to feed creation elsewhere. She frowns, gnawing her lip. But he's a silent god, and his ways are mysterious. To follow him is to accept inevitability without explanation. In this matter and the legacy, it seems the gods are often silent when we most crave guidance. Her eyes dart between the two doors on the inner side of the room. If that is all, why is most of the temple closed? As I said, we're in the middle of a sacred ceremonies, she enunciates carefully. They're rather complex, and we don't permit outsiders to witness them. She glances at the elves over her shoulder. Others of my clan get rather touchy about them, which is why you should visit the shrine and take your leave. What are you doing here? My clan journeyed from the Wide to the Winds to pay homage to the Rai here at Noonfrost. We learned that this place has been abandoned for several years, and we felt it our duty to tend to her and her god's oldest temples. She rolls her shoulders back. It has been a long journey, but Rai demands endurance. No doubt he will reward us for ours. I hope it is.
Yeah.
Pale Elf Vanquisher. I haven't saved in a while. Alright, let's go check out the shrine. I'll play along. Hello? Ah! I'm sorry! I went the wrong way. Turn back and do not cross any doors. The halls behind us belong to Rai and his faithful. Okay, well, don't want to piss off Rai. Can I go in here? Oh, that's the shrine. Okay. Hold, wanderer! Yeah. Hi, Rai. He's like a nice sculpture. Oh yes, we are praying at this altar. Jitter. I'm just gonna stand here. Couple direct. Okay, jitter. I'll just piss off now.
Why not? There!
Indeed.
Done!
I'm just gonna take all of that stuff. I don't really give a fuck. So if I unlock this door, will someone get mad at me?
There! Done!
Oh, it's one I have to actively go through. Okay, well, I'm sure there's a quest of some sort here. I got a blue key in my stash. Excuse me, sir. sure. That's what I'm doing. Hey, staff man. You again? Oh. So if I go this way, we're gonna get mad at me.
I shall be discreet.
Ooh, I know what the blue key does. Okay. Well, we might have to come back here. Keep this in mind. I don't know what I'm doing yet, so. I wonder if, oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was promised a dragon, so I'm gonna go look for a dragon. He slowly blinks away. Oh, we've got a long way to go. Okay. Okay, I need combat before I go pass out at some point here. Come on.
Time to see and not be seen.
Yeah, good luck with that. Puppies! Puppies! Let's see if I can remember how to do shit. Is there like... Haha, leaky soul. Geez, I've got like 42 bays. Silent scream.
Exactly.
I can't remember how to play, so this is gonna be interesting. Violate some memories. I don't know what's about to happen here, but it should be interesting. Ooh, the pain. Oh yes, and I forgot we have to target the puppy too. This is the one that jumps between a bunch of them, I think. Where are you? Things happened. Pretty sure I overkilled the puppies, but...
Hey. Durance!
I had to remember how to do everything, so... I like how the puppies sound like,
slow and silent.
Chests. Uh-oh. Lizards.
Would you look at this?
Ooh. Okay, whatever. Alright. Change the traps of the shaft. There's some pigs over there. Tracks and bloodstains continue east. Ooh, weeds. Golden celery.
Light, flame, and sound.
Are you angry, pigs?
We'll keep to ourselves.
I like go near you. Are you gonna get mad? Okay. Some of the pigs just. Eh. Over here, hurry! Gwyneth hides in tall underbrush. Twigs poke up at her hair. Chunks of dried mud cling waist-high to her leather leggings. Quiet, keep low. Take a look. My friends are up there, for the lip of the hill. There were signs of battle at the camp. Gwyneth nods. Her lower lip crushed beneath. What? Her lower lip. Her lower lip. Crushed beneath her teeth. I wasn't fast enough. Pox-ridden fangs. Mag burned them all. Mag ran, burned them all. What's going on? The fangs must have caught the scent and rushed the group. She begins to run her gloved fingers over her hair and stops. The pressure snaps one of the twigs stuck on her black curls. Some of my friends are still alive, but the fangs have them surrounded. The expedition, Gwyneth brings her hand to the pommel of her estoc, or what remains of it, has taken cover in some ruins above these cliffs. The fangs must be toying with them or letting them starve a bit before the next attack. We need to act, or they're as good as dead. How did the fangs get here? She looks down to her feet, shaking her head slowly. I got a decoy path, set false campfires, and dusted over every footprint I could find. It didn't slow them much. I'll see what I can do. Maybe you can find a way around the fangs. There's got to be another way up to that ridge. She wipes the sweat from her brow, her glove leaving behind dirty smudge. You aren't dressed like my men. Perhaps you could try talking to the fangs. They might not think you're with us. She grabs her hand, squeezing it. Please help. I've already have enough friends to bury.
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
And what does the flame reveal?
That you're really not that great at sneaking. Cheater. Forgot how jittery this game is. I wonder if they're gonna punch me. Hello. What's up? How you doing?
Estramore.
An elven woman stands beside a stag, petting the great beast on its neck. As you approach, the animal jerks its head in your direction and rears up. Stillness! The woman orders the stag, pulling the skin on the stag's neck until it ceases to buck. Easy now. No need to fight yet. She turns to face you. One ear is missing its top half, and many battle scars raise her otherwise smooth skin. More foreigners, more unclean feet trampling on our lands, more blood to feed the trees. She shakes her head. You should not be here, Estramore. Her hand moves to one of the several blades strapped to her hips. If you're here on our lands, it's either to steal from us or to aid those who would. She gestures to the north at the ruins of Gwyneth and buildings protruding from the underbrush. Dear Woodian mercenaries, looters, can you hear their panicked whispers? Leave this place at once, or we will kill you when we finish these Estramoran. I'm a friend of Irglanvath. She holds her gaze on you. The great stag stomps its front hooves on the ground and turns to its master. Do you speak the truth, foreigner? If you're indeed a friend, you would respect our lands and not defile our sacred soil with your trespass. The woman clenches her jaw, its muscles quiver under her pressure until suddenly calm returns to her expression. If you've no bonds of kin or kith with looters, I will give you a chance to prove it. She draws one of the swords with a swift arcing motion, points to the ruins beyond. The invaders must be purged from our lands. Prove your worth and we will believe your words. Tell me about these mercenaries. Raiders, looters, same as all the other Deerwoodian thieves that pillage our lands. The woman touches the oblique stub with her, where half of her ear used to be. We tracked the Deerwoodians from their first step beyond the great river and waited for them to err. They always do. We claimed half their pack in our first assault. The cowards that ran now huddle to the north. When the wind turns, you will smell their fear. If they surrender, will you let them live? Softness such as yours will not bring them to heel. Their greed knows no bounds. Their memory honors no history. What use have we of prisoners? What example do we set by others by letting them live? She shakes her head. Why would we forgive again? Because you soar where they crawl. The fangs deserve better foes than these wounded animals. Send them home with grave warnings for their kin. The woman gazes north, her mouth a twisted scowl as she ponders your words. The great stag nudges her shoulder and she reaches up to scratch the animal's chin. Blood was spilled and life spurts from a soaked ground. She looks at you with a cold glare, mutters a curse under her breath, and sheathes her blade. We will let the raiders return headless. The leader must pay for the crimes. Only then may the rest go free. Go deliver my message before I see the folly in this decision. Do you wish the leader dead? We wish their leader to be an example to the others. Sever his head, his freedom, or his family, whichever will best warn others not to trespass onto our lands.
Eh?
I'm on the trail.
Ooh, shrooms. There's a forest lurker down there. He says hi. Don't mind me, I'm just... Looks like this is the other way to go. Okay, well, I guess I'll talk to the... Yeah! Stop, friend or foe! The man in blood-soaked armor points his blade at you as his wounded and weary comrades flock into position behind him. A trickle of blood runs from a cut on his brow down to his neck, staining a locket worn on a gold chain. You're not Glenfarthon. He tightens the grip on his sword handle. By Magren's friend or foe, I said. Calm down, I'm a friend. Sword still pointing at you, the man gives a sideways glance to his companion and nods. The mercenaries lower their weapons. By the flame, the hero of the Defiance Bay, a rare and welcome sight. Friends this far from home. He lets the weight of his shoulders lower his arm. He gives a concerned look to his mercenary company. Look at this, hiding in the rocks and holding in our guts, he points south. The fangs, they've bloodied us and now we're trapped. Gwyneth sent me? What happened? Resourceful girl, the captain huffs a chuckle before returning to his humorless round. We assumed the Glenfarthons killed her before coming upon us. I'm relieved she's alive. Devilly relieved she brought help. He rests his sword, still caked with blood, across his shoulders. The tribesmen ambushed us just as we made camp. The fight was a lopsided slaughter. Esmar stares at his feet as he finishes his thought. In the melee, I'm sorry. I've been corrected, even though it's never been properly pronounced for me. In the melee, someone tripped through the campfire. We're lucky in that regard. The stench of burning flesh and the choking smoke obscured the scene, and a few of us managed to withdraw. Make dodgeball great again. We ran to the ruins to regroup, but now we're trapped. The face painters are just south of our position and have us cornered. No doubt they're happy to let us starve while they rest and rebuild their strength before attacking anew. He left his hand idly with toys with a locket worn around his neck. Seems this is where we will be making our last stand, he mutters as he clenches the gold ornament. At least you didn't lose your locket in the scuffle. Focusing on the positive, he asks with a laugh as he flips the locket between callous fingers. This is for my son, for when he's old enough to be trusted with such things, born a few months ago, not hollow. Highly I be praised. Oh, my throat is so dry right now. Told my beloved the child would want for nothing. He looks you in the eye with an embarrassed smile. Probably should have also promised her I wouldn't throw my life away treasure hunting in Ir Glanfath. Here's hoping the boy gets his smarts from his mother's side of the family. I've convinced the Fangs to let you go, but you must bear the punishment for trespassing and be taken prisoner. Esmar blinks and arches his eyebrows in surprise. You've convinced them? Creases around his eyes deepen with his growing frown. He looks at his locket and lifts his eyes back to you. Prisoner? If it's the only way to save my men, I'll endure it. But who's prisoner? I have room in my stronghold to take you on as a prisoner. I don't know what that means. They'll kill him. You will hold me prisoner and that will satisfy them? He takes a half stride back and looks you up and down. So be it, I'm more than willing to be a hostage if that means we'll get home safe. I'm sure you will have to keep me as a proper captive to honor the arrangement, but I understand. It's far better than being the Fang's prisoner. Captain turns to his company. Each of the soldiers stare back, pale with fear. Esmar takes a deep breath and raises his fists in the air. New orders, you're to fall back, the expedition is over. Stow your gear and make for Defiance Bay at once. They exchange glances with each other, waiting for the first one to obey the command. Are you deaf? I won't tell you again. Time to go now! Esmar's booming voice springs the reluctant mercenaries into action. Wounds are dressed one last time, camping gear is secured, and with minutes the men are off on their march, nodding at their leader in acknowledgement as they pass. And they all die. What the fuck?
Yeah. They shall see nothing while I see much.
I bet the Fangs are gonna be pissed that I did that. They aren't even here anymore. They're all just... oh, they're there. Gwyneth, her gloved hands half buried on the waves of her rebellious hair, watches you approaching, incredulous. You did it! Her dimples flame a beaming smile. She lets out a sigh of relief and wags her finger at you. We'll be chanting your name back in the gift. Everyone will know what you've done for us, I promise. I realize Esmar will need to be your prisoner if we were to honor the agreement. An odd arrangement, but it'll save the expedition. She shrugs and gives you a sly smile. Besides, I'm sure your dungeon is far more enjoyable than whatever the Fangs do with their prisoners. She scratches her cleft chin with her free hand and gives you a measuring look. But you're the type to deserve more than just praise. Coin weaponry? She rubs her gloved fingers together. Or if nothing tangible suits your fancy, I'll gladly share my skills with you. Let's do skills. She nods enthusiastically. I was hoping you'd say that. She removes the gloves from her hands, stowing them in her back pocket. When you spend as much time as I do in the ruins, you'll learn to strike first and to strike without warning. She holds her estoc out in front of her, its blade parallel to the ground. The key is efficiency of movement. Cool. She walks you through several footwork drills that focus on your quick footfalls. Place all your weight on the final step, and when you're ready, strike. When you're ready to strike, she yells for emphasis as she demonstrates a swift, silent lunge. As you follow her examples, she nods in satisfaction. I think you got the grasp of it. I'm honored I could teach you something new. She half curtsies and then turns to take her leave. As Smart watches Gwyneth disappear into the thick foliage, he turns to face you. I'm ready, I think. He unwraps the locket from his hand and ties it around his neck. At least some of my men are leaving Irglanfath alive. Half speed.
Eh?
Alright. Kanna's back. That's not what it sounded like. It sounded like they wanted me to, like, walk up and just, like, slice off his head. Okay, well, I'm gonna save the game. Officially. I'm just gonna make a new save, because I don't know what's going on. And I might call it there because my voice is just shot. Like, I've got allergies, and, like, every time I try to speak, I feel like I'm choking on my own, like, throat.
If those Delamgon are right, you and I are stuck with our awakenings. Not quite the news I was hoping for.
No, I guess I missed this conversation for, like, way back there. This isn't fair. It just means we gotta focus on finding Theos.
Yes, focus on the goal. A sensible perspective, particularly in the midst of such uncertainty. And while I hate to turn the subject back to myself, this all has me thinking about Isilmir. I'm stuck with her now.
It's time you dealt with this, Aloth.
I know.
And on the bright side, I've got plenty of time to figure out how to deal with her. Like it or not, she's part of you, and she could be a source of strength if you learn to work with her.
It's strange. I've lived with her most of my life, and I've always seen her as an adversary. It should have occurred to me the day she stood up to my father. But there's something about being too close to a situation to see it clearly. It will be a relief to stop fighting her.
Even as he says it, something struggles within him. The muscles of his face twitch and his skin quivers. His eyes roll back to the skull, exposing slivers of white. Sweat beads and glistens on his forehead. After several seconds, he sighs and looks back at you. That wasn't as difficult as I expected. I think deep down I'd always hoped to find a solution elsewhere. When I was a child, I always thought my mother would come home with a mysterious cure, or that my father, without knowing it, could somehow send her away, just as he'd called her forth. I can't pretend what I didn't spend years of my arcane training hoping that one of my instructors would have the answer somewhere in his grimoire. When I joined the Leaden Key, I had hoped and believed that with enough loyal service, I'd gain the ear of someone in the organization who could help me. Even when I met you and realized your unique talents, I'd hoped that you would be able to reach into my soul the way I'd seen you do with so many others. I'd been looking for someone else to solve my problem, and now I realize I've got to face it on my own. Aww. Been with you the whole way. I still am.
That means a great deal to me. Truly.
No.
That reminds me of something else the Delamgon said. About the gods not being real.
He says it quietly as if afraid someone might overhear him. They did tell us to pray to the gods, so that can't be entirely true. I expect we'll figure out what that means eventually.
Yes, I suppose so. Still, I can't help but worry at the state we'd be in if that was somehow true. If there were no power guiding us in this life and shepherding us to the next.
So don't think about it. Then Islamir would just be a happy accident and you'd have no one to blame for her. I'm sure we'd find our way on our own.
I hope you're right.
While we're stopped, let's discuss something else. So you've made peace with Islamir, was it like? Relaxing, more so than I expected. As contentious as she is, I imagined that letting her in would merely unleash the torrent. Now that I'm not fighting her, it seems like she isn't fighting me. And you're right, I've found much to learn from her. Alright. I guess he's arrived or something. We're quite the group.